And welcome everyone. And I'm excited this morning to hear from Misty Lee. She's going to be breaking down the goods on how you get started in this business. And I'm excited over here to take notes myself. It's always great to hear from different leaders and what they're doing and how they're getting people started. Again, you'll realize as we have different people that are on here doing the trainings and all that, you're always going to get the same information, but from a different perspective, a different outlook. And it's always great to take nuggets you can from each person and put it to become a greater you and give you more ammunition or more arrows in your quiver. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Misty Lee. Over to you, my friend.
All right. Thanks, Chris. All right, you guys. Like Chris said, I think it's amazing that, we're doing these and you're going to get different information from different perspectives from different people. So definitely excited to get going today. Thank you all for hopping on and taking time out of your day to be here. We're super excited to help you get the ball rolling on your business. And so today, I'm just going to kind of first introduce myself. My name is Misty Lee. I am 43 years old from Arkansas, have been married for 23 years, have a 23-year-old daughter, a 23-year-old son, and have been here in the business for a little over 2.5 years now. And just to kind of give you a quick background on how I got started here and a little bit of my story. When I first started, I was a full-time RN case manager, just like most people, working this on the side, and tried the products, absolutely fell in love with them, and thought, hey, this will be a good way, for me to make a little bit of additional income, pay off credit card bills, have some extra spending money, have money to put back for vacations and things like that. And it just quickly grew into so much more than that. And at about 6 months in, I hit Black Diamond. At about 8 months in, I had doubled my full-time RN case management income just doing this part-time from my phone. In December of that year of 2019, I was like, you know what? I've always wanted the time freedom and flexibility that this offers. And of course, being an RN, that was definitely not something that was truly possible. So actually New Year's of December of 2019, I put in my resignation, worked my very last day as an RN case manager on January 14th of 2020, and have been here doing this from home or wherever life takes me since that time. And it's been absolutely amazing. The freedom and the flexibility that I had always wanted, that I had never had before, I do have now. I can take my business anywhere. And I can't tell you what a weight that has lifted off of my shoulders and how much it's impacted the lives of my family. So that is a little bit about me and how I got started here. And before we get started, like Chris said, I do have a few notes here to make sure that I keep myself on track, because I want to make sure to give you guys as much information in the short amount of time that we have here this morning. I want to be mindful of everyone's time. So just know that these are tips and suggestions that I use with my team, and your team leaders, your upline is going to have some different tips and takeaways that you have. So hopefully you'll be able to get a few nuggets from this today and begin implementing it in your business. So first and foremost, one of the most important things that I will tell you that any and everybody who is doing well in this business, one thing is for sure is that we stay plugged in to the community, right? So we have an incredible culture, an incredible community here, and it's so very important to plug into those things. It's just like if you're going to work every day and walk straight into your desk, talk to absolutely nobody, build no relationships whatsoever, it's going to be something that you're just kind of seeing as a job and not really taking advantage of the community and culture we have here, which is absolutely one of my most favorite things about this business and this company is the people that we have and the friendships that I've built. So, staying plugged to those things. Your team pages. I don't know if you're just getting started. Hopefully your upline has, whoever enrolled you has plugged you into those team pages, and they're absolutely amazing. They're going to have all kinds of valuable information. If you go through those tabs up there, you're going to be able to kind of see some different trainings and tools and things that have been used in the past that have been put there in that page for you to kind of give you an opportunity to go in there and read through and learn. So stay plugged into those. Turn on your notifications. Make sure that you're getting all the info as it's rolled out, different incentives, things like that we all have. So if you're not plugged into your team page, be sure and reach out and make sure that you are. Um, chats, the chats that we all have different team chats and everything. That's just going to be a way for us to communicate within our small teams that we have, our smaller groups of teams, and kind of really encourage each other, pass along maybe tips, ask questions there, and kind of come together where you can connect with other people even on that level too. So participate in those. Contribute in those and stay plugged in. I check mine, of course, multiple times throughout the day. If you're working a full-time job, obviously you can't stay in Messenger all the time, but definitely go in there. If you see you've missed notifications that something might be in there, go back and check in there so you're not missing out on those things, because you want to stay plugged into that. Another thing, a way to stay plugged into the community and company and figure out everything that's going on so you're not missing out, is our WhatsApp weekly calls that we have once a week at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I'm not sure what that converts to for whatever time zone that you're in, but set your alarm for that. We do record those meetings because obviously sometimes life, does prevent us from always being on those live trainings and Zooms, but that is super valuable information. I know specifically right now we have tons of sales and incentives and promos that are coming up here through the holidays. And if you're not plugged in and you don't know about those things, then you're not going to be able to implement those into your business. If you're over here and you've joined and you don't know that we have I don't know what our sales are going to be. They haven't told us all that yet. But if you're missing that valuable information and your customers or your brand partners that you've been talking to don't know about those things, then you may miss an opportunity to get that additional sale or to have that additional, new brand partner jump on. They may just be looking for an opportunity to jump on at a discount or to get started with the products with a discount. So stay plugged into those things. Different trainings, different Zooms that we have throughout our specific teams, sometimes corporate wide even. Make it a priority also to be on those things as often as you possibly can. And again, like we always do, because we know everybody's lives pull them in different directions, you may not be able to be on those things on the live, but take an opportunity, in some time to go back and watch those things so you're able to get those tools and start implementing those into your businesses. Also, we do different team challenges. I'm sure, some of the bigger teams do as well. Some like 90-day runs, 30-day runs, where we're giving different, daily activities and challenges to help you do business-driven activities, things that we basically do on a daily basis in different ways, and you're learning how to do those. So making it a priority, say, I'm going to challenge myself to do these things. They're telling me exactly what to do. Usually we give out prizes and incentives and things like that for people who do participate. So, make it a priority to where you put yourself, into that and challenge yourself, excuse me, to really get involved in those, right? Okay, the next point I want to talk on here is utilizing our tools and getting familiar with what's available to you to help you grow your business. So our back office and our app, if you're just getting started, there's a ton of information in both places there. And so you don't have to feel like that you need to know everything, but just kind of like if you were going into a new job and you have this whole new system set up, through the computer, different things. When you start a new job, you're not going to know where to find everything or where you can go to do this or that, but know that there is tons of capabilities in both of those platforms. And that, just starting to try to figure out what is where and how to utilize it and those things is very important. You'll see that there's tons of resources that we can use all through our back office. I mean, you can scroll and scroll and scroll for different things there and do a search for those things specifically. Everything from PDFs, videos, logos, all kinds of things that you can use for cute graphics, things like that. So definitely take some time and just start familiarizing yourself with that. Our app is an amazing tool that you can utilize to where if somebody is asking you for information on a specific product or about the business, instead of you having to just like word vomit, a paragraph this long and say, oh, the products do that, and dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, you go through all the spiel. You don't have to do that. They have implemented tools in place to make that so much easier for us to just go into your app, say, okay, they asked about the happy lemonade. Let me just go grab that video and maybe, or that PDF where you can just go say, here, yeah, of course, I'd be happy to give you some information on our lemonade. It's absolutely amazing. Here's a quick video that you can watch, a PDF that you can look through to find the nutrition ingredients, the nutrition value and ingredients, and take a look at that. After you finish looking at that, let me know what you think. And if it sounds like something you'd like to try, I can help you get started. Something that simple, just keep it simple. You don't have to like tell them all the things. Of course, you're going to come back with, they're going to have questions and things like that. So in saying all of that, another thing you don't want to do is don't try to recreate the wheel. All your upline and the people who are building here and have been doing this for a while are going to have systems in place and available for you to really kind of learn and do. And you want to keep it simple. Like I just said there, you want to have something that you're doing over and over and over again and know that it's duplicatable. Don't come in there and go, well, I don't think this the way, this isn't really working. I'm going to try to do it a little bit differently. Not to say that you can't tweak and do some things a little bit differently, but the overall picture of what we do and how we do it is something that I would recommend, finding your own way to really implement that and continue to do that. So when you bring somebody else on, they're not having to try to figure it out. You can just say, hey, this is what you do. This is how you do it. And then you just repeat that process over and over again. You want to keep it simple. The next thing I want to say is about third-party validation and the tools that we have. So third-party validation, if you're not sure what that is, we have multiple different things. We have a huge customer testimonial group called What's Up, or not What's Up Weekly, Happy Brew Crew. That is ours through our own personal teams. You may be, your team may have a different one specifically from ours. And that is what we call an ad tag message group. And so essentially, if you have somebody who is interested in the products or the business, one of the first things you want to do is get them plugged in there, because like ours has over 40,000 people in it. And it's just a great way to be able to say, hey, yeah, I'm going to send you an invitation to this customer testimonial group where you can kind of take a look around at the transformations, the testimonials, additional product information. It's kind of like going on Amazon. If you're curious about a product and, want to see if there's some different reviews on it before you make that purchase, you go through there, and if you see all these people saying amazing things about it, then of course you're going to go, okay, probably I want to try that out. So some people will get plugged in there and they may not, go ahead and, purchase immediately, but that gives them a resource where they can go back to, and it's on their mind and they have a way to go back and reference things there. So just keep that in mind on that. Another third party tool that we have, again, is our app that has all those amazing videos and PDFs in there for you. So you don't have to know all of the things. That's definitely a way to slow yourself down. If you feel like you have to know it all before you get going, it's going to put slow roll into your business. So you definitely don't want to do that. You want to utilize the tools that are made available to us in there. And utilizing your upline, you guys, that is another great third-party tool that we have. And being able to say, hey, I'm just getting started. I really don't know how to answer your question. Maybe let me plug you in here. If you're interested in the business, let me plug you in with my upline and let them help me answer those questions for you. And that's going to do a few different things. That's going to give whoever you're speaking to the idea that, number one, if they decide to jump on and do this business for themselves, that they don't have to know all the things either, that they can utilize another person who is more familiar, who has been here longer and has that information. And so that's going to give them some reassurance and make that decision for them to jump on board a little bit easier. Another thing it's going to do is, they're going to be able to go back, whoever you connected them to, and say, I don't know that person. Let me go kind of check them out and see who they are as a person. And, just being able to look through your social media and say, hey, that person seems like they really got it together. And, joining with people that you can really connect with or look like positive, encouraging people is definitely a thing that they're going to take away from that. And then thirdly, what it's going to do is, as you're learning how to do this business, eventually the idea is that you're going to grow into that leadership position where you do know what to do and say to help close somebody who is looking at the business opportunity, right? You're going to know by just watching those things. It's essentially a little bit of a training experience too. So reach out to your upline, utilize them, and put them to work. And I can guarantee you that they want to help you do those things, because that's what we're all here for. Anybody who has been here and is in any sort of leadership position, they definitely want you to have success. And if you're not asking questions, if you're not reaching out to them, we know that there's no way that you know how to do all the things first starting out. So don't be afraid to reach out. Know that we encourage that. Another thing I would like to encourage you guys to do is create scripts or reach out to your upline to help you create simple scripts that are easy that you can kind of copy and paste. You're saying the same thing every single time anyone asks for information. It's going to be something super simple. Just for example, if somebody messages me or comments on one of my posts, say for instance I've posted about the coffee, and they say, can you send me some information on that immediately? I'm not going to answer them right there on Facebook. I'm going to go into the messenger app, and go in there and just say, hey, I saw where you asked for information on the coffee. I'd be more than happy to send you those details. When would be a good time to do that? And then automatically that's going to start that conversation rolling. And then you can have, like, I have a 3-part script of like the next thing that I would send them and kind of the conversation that goes back and forth. You can kind of tweak that a little bit. But to make it simple, so you're not having to type that out a million different times and you're essentially saying the same thing over and over. I'm going to give you guys a really great app tool to implement in place. I see Jenny is on here. She is the one who told me about this originally, and it's absolutely amazing and will make your business just a lot easier and all in one place too. So stay tuned for that. And then, the copy and paste feature is also going to be when you're doing follow-up messages. You've talked to somebody, maybe you haven't heard back from them in a couple of days. Here's your follow-up script, and just something super simple. Save it. That way you can go copy and paste it. If you have a sale or a promo and you have your people that you've talked to that haven't purchased yet, or people who have purchased from you in the past, your current customers, I always like to know when a sale is going on if it's a product that I'm wanting to try. So you create a script, go back there, copy and paste it, share it to all those people to make sure that they know, and, tie it to some sort of time frame so they know that it's something that they need to act on fairly quickly, and there is a time frame that they have to purchase in, but you don't want them to miss out on that discount or savings, right? So another thing that I want to say that I mentioned, I'll go a little bit on, is stay close to your sponsor, right? Whoever enrolled you here, make sure that you have that connection with them, and maybe even some of your upline above them, your sideline people. Stay connected with all the people that are involved there so they can kind of help you get rolling. Another thing, one of my biggest tips, you guys, if you're getting just started on this, is learning to leverage social media to grow your business, right? Of course, we want to talk to the people that are local to us, the people that are friends and family and things like that. But I live in a small town of about 4,000 people. If I was just depending to grow my business through the people who were there within my own personal town, then I would be limited on who I can actually reach. So learning different tools and trainings, we won't be able to go into all that today. We have different trainings and stuff that we've done in the past, and I'm sure we'll do more in the future, but it is incredible. You have to think about, so with 4,000 in your town, I don't know how many people are on all the different social media platforms, but we're talking millions and millions and millions, right? I have a team that is in Canada. I've talked to people from all kinds of different countries and have connected them due to the reach of social media and the platform that it gives us to really plug into there and learn different tools and techniques for curiosity marketing and create attraction marketing and those types of things. And you may not know anything about that right now, and that is absolutely okay. But it is something that I highly recommend learning to grow your social media platform so you're connecting to as many people as possible, right? You want to be able to reach people that you're not going to be able to reach, even, within your own state. And that is the amazing thing. I will tell you, for me personally, about 99% of my business customers and teammates that have joined me in the business, new brand partners, all those things, have been created through social media, and just me learning how to leverage that. It's not something that I initially learned or knew anything about when I first got started, but it is something that I have made a priority because I see the value in that. It's just like if you have a brick and mortar business that is, in your little small town, the only people who are going to come in and out of that store are probably going to be the people who are there local to you, right? But if you open that ability, and that same brick and mortar store has an online business where people can order and things can be shipped to them, then obviously you're going to have a broader audience and a bigger group of people who can actually come in and utilize your services, take advantage, try the products, and even join the business for themselves. So just definitely recommend plugging into things that are going to help you do that. One of the biggest tips that I can give you right now, as far as leveraging social media, of course, those are going to be through TikTok. That's a new one that a lot of people are just learning. I have grown thousands and thousands and thousands of followers on TikTok by getting in there and learning to create content. And I think a lot of people who are on here can attest to that. It has been one of the biggest, fastest growing social media platforms, and for businesses especially. So definitely highly recommend that. Instagram, Facebook Reels, stories, that type of thing, using your stories in Instagram and Facebook. And you guys, my biggest, if you don't take anything away from that on the social media thing, the one thing that I can tell you that is the hottest, fastest growing thing right now is Facebook Reels. If you want to get on anything and get in while the getting is good, this is only a platform through social media that is a new feature. There's not, I don't even think it's been out maybe a month. And I can tell you just from my personal experience with that, had no idea what I was doing. Of course, I had been using TikTok reel or TikTok videos and some Instagram reels and things for a while, but I will tell you my personal experience is what happened. I knew the Facebook reels thing was out, and I thought, hey, this seems like something, maybe I want to try to help grow my business. I don't really know how algorithms or any of those things work here for Facebook reels, but let me give it a try. You guys, this is literally what happened. I posted my very first video about 3.5 weeks ago. And literally that video has like almost 4 million views, which has generated tons and tons of interest. I can't even, thousands of messages, thousands of requests for information. It's definitely, I've brought new people into the team that I wasn't connected to before that. Lots of new customers. I have grown my Facebook following by like 14,000 people in a matter of just a few weeks. And that's because right now, Facebook is pushing that platform and trying to grow it. So it's pushing it out in front of a larger audience than it would be even if your Facebook is set to private, right? So you feel welcome to go onto my Facebook and look at my reels on there to kind of get some ideas of what I'm doing. So you can kind of see for yourself. I mean, some of it is product based, some of it is business information or business driven, and then some of it is just like personal things about me and my life and are fun, or just kind of about who I am. But my Facebook name is Misty Brewer Lee. If anybody wants to type that in there, who knows how to find me on Facebook. And you can go in there, scroll down, click on my reels, and you can kind of get some examples of things that I'm doing so you can utilize it too. The next thing I want to say too is, if you don't have a large social media following yet, no, that takes time to grow. Don't feel like that's something that should hinder you. It's just something that you should start trying to work towards in your business, right? So reach out in those moments. You may not get all the same comments and requests for information as somebody who's been doing this for a little while and has learned how to grow their social media. So, learning, being okay with doing some reach outs and things is something that is definitely necessary if you aren't getting the interaction and growing your business at the scale that you would like to. And just know that takes a little bit of time. So just be comfortable with where you're at and start working to where you want to be. The next thing I want to tell you guys is get organized. You have to get organized. You have a business to build here, and you are going to have a difficult time doing it if you don't have some sort of organizational skills in your life, right? So you want to be able to be organized. Number one, set a schedule to work your business around whatever your current schedule is. We all, like I said, when I was working a full-time RN case manager position, I had to figure out a way how to utilize the time that I had in order to get to where I wanted to go. So whether that meant waking up a little bit early or staying up a little bit later or taking my lunch break to either answer messages or create content or take pictures or, whatever the case may be, hop on a training, all of those different things. And so just kind of working it around and setting a time for your day to where you're showing up for your business on a daily basis, right? Where you're going in, because in the beginning, especially, you're trying to gain traction and momentum. And if you're just rarely showing up, then it's going to go a lot slower than, say, somebody who plugs in all the time and is doing the thing. So set a schedule and make a list of people. Whenever you talk to somebody, make sure you're writing their names down. So that way you are able to go follow up with them if they don't jump on board. But maybe you're able to have a way, get a calendar. We can say, I talked to these people on this day, and if I haven't heard back from them by this time, couple days later or whatever, I'm going to go in there and these are the people that I'm going to follow up with. Plan a day. This is really good information too. If you have a busy week, you work 40 hours a week, and in the evenings you're doing all the things, but maybe on a Sunday afternoon where you have some downtime, go in at that time, take a few different pictures, create a little bit of some different content, save it, and then that way later in the week you can go back and plug it in during the week to where you have those, just, hey, I don't have to create all of this right now. Just let me plug it in here. Here's a picture that I took. Here's some notes that I put over here with the wording I want to put on the post it, done. You're done for a little while. And then maybe come back during your lunch break, or if you have a break before that, go back in, answer messages, for requests for information and that type of thing. And so just utilizing your day in that way and really taking advantage and figure out what works for you. And then the last thing, this is not the last thing on the whole thing, but as far as the organizational part, what the app that I mentioned earlier, that is an incredible way. It is a free app called Boards, Boards. And you guys, this is a game changer for getting organized and simplifying things. You can, in that app right now, you can pull in different videos from our app, save them in the links there, create a board that says product videos. You have all of those videos in one place, all your scripts you can put in the one place, all your PDFs that you can put in a PDF board for all the products, a business videos section, business information section, link to your website, link to where to join you as a brand partner, lots of information, whatever you want to pull in there. And then, so say you're in Messenger and somebody reaches out to you about the information, wants that stuff, instead of you having to say, okay, let me go get that for you, hopping out into your notes or hopping out into your app to go, log into the app, copy and paste the material, come back into your chat with that person and pasting it. All you have to do is literally, it sets up a board just like your keyboard would do. You switch it over to that board, copy, paste it, done. And it makes that process so much easier. So you don't have to search for graphics. You don't have to search for the video links. You don't have to do all those things. They're right there and available to you. So that's something that you can take time to build. But it will save you a ton of time in the long run. The next thing I want to touch base on is setting goals for yourself. Okay. That is so important. And I'm talking about long-term goals and short-term goals, so large goals are long-term goals. Say this month I want to hit star, or this month I want to hit diamond, or whatever the case may be. Those are kind of your long-term goals that you want to have. Like I said, by the end of the year, I want to be at this rank. By the end of the month, I want to be at this rank. And then at that same time, you got to know how that breaks down, right? So in order to do that, how many new brand partners do I want to have by the end of the month? How many new customers do I want to bring on this month? What are my income goals for the year? What are my income goals for the month? And create a vision board that's going to have like your longer term goals set on those. And then in order to reach those long-term goals, of course, you're going to have small goals in place that are measurable and achievable on short term, or you're looking at whatever is next and what is whatever and right in front of you, right? So that's going to be, so just as an example, if you're somebody who says, hey, I want to bring on 20 new customers this month, well, the number of people that you're going to have to talk to each week is going to be more than the number of, if somebody's goals say, I want to bring on 10 new customers this week, right? You're obviously going to have to talk to more people than the person who is trying to bring on 10. So if that makes sense. And the same thing goes for brand partners. And, DMOs, daily activities. So that's daily methods of opportunity, or daily methods of operation. Somebody calls those, or some people call those, or things that you have to implement into your business, daily and weekly. And those are going to be different things you should have gotten in your kit. If you've not received it yet, it will be coming to you. There'll be a little list in there that kind of shows you different daily activities that we do, or weekly activities that we do, that you can kind of check off, okay, I've done that. And so sticking to that schedule and to kind of see what those things are. The things that we do here are tedious. They're not anything that is really hard. It's just a matter of just showing up and doing those. And I know that we have a DMO graphic list that is specifically in our team. Reach out to who, if you don't have that, reach out to whoever your upline is and see if you can get your hands on one. You can print it off, and it's going to give you different daily and weekly goals that you can kind of check off and go with it. So so posting follow-up stories, making reels, sending out birthday messages, interacting with people on Facebook are just a different of the few different demos that I'm recommending there for you guys. So share your story, your experience, be authentic to who you are as a person. You don't want to go, just out there and like, as an example, just say if somebody were to come and copy and paste my specific post and, trying to share my story and my experience and not your own, you're not going to have the same type of success with that. The thing that I think it is so important that people need to realize is that we are all unique people, unique individuals. We all have unique stories. We all have unique testimonies. Use those as your platform to build, and know that people are going to be attracted to you for who you are, right? And also, people aren't just going to hop on there and looking for, to go buy things. You don't typically hop on Facebook and say, what can I go find to buy today? It's just for connections and things like that. So letting people get to know who you are as a person. You're not just throwing up graphics with a list of benefits this long on what the coffee can do to help you, not throwing your link up there for people to go and just click on and order from you. You want to be able to share your experience. If you hopped on board and you've been using the products and you've lost 10 pounds in a few weeks, that's your testimony. That's your story. That's what you want to share. If that's not your testimony, and your testimony is like, I have so much more energy now, I'm able to get up and do things, I don't have the brain fog that I had before, that's your testimony. Share share your personal experience, because your stories what's of your personal experience is what's going to help you sell the product and the opportunity both. So can't recommend that highly enough. Is being authentic to who you are. The next thing is, what is your why? Write it down, whether that be you have some different income goals. Are you looking to retire yourself? Are you looking for ways to travel more and spend more time with your family? Are you wanting to help, support somebody, your parents maybe, who have some financial things you would like to help them pay off, and that type of thing? Just whatever those goals are, and what your why is, tie yourself to that and stay focused on that, because there are going to be distractions, and sometimes you have to remind yourself, why you're doing this. Nobody is standing behind you. There's no boss over your head making you do this. This is an optional thing. This is an opportunity to make some income, but it's going to be on your terms and what you do, without anybody standing over your shoulder and say, hey, why are you not doing this? You're about to get fired. Nope. The only person who can, cause you to be fired is yourself here. So don't quit on yourself. Stay plugged in. And then remember, this is a huge thing too, I think is so important, is remember, when you do enroll somebody in this business, they are looking at what you do. So if you're not showing up to Zooms, you're not on the, in the team chats, you're not interacting with people on the team, you're not posting on a regular basis, and doing all the things that we recommend, then guess what? They're not going to do that either. And if you're bringing somebody on, they're trusting you with their time and their money. And so you, in enrolling somebody, should be assuming some sort of leadership role in that you get them launched and get them started in the right direction. So take ownership of helping them achieve that success, right? Take ownership and pushing them in that direction and giving them the tools and all the things that they need. Doing some, if you're having somebody joining you, plugging them into all the things that I mentioned earlier, team chats, team pages, letting them know it's available, making sure that they know about these launch Zooms so they're able to get notes and give a good place to start there. And then consistency, you guys. If you treat it like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. You'll hear that a million different times. And that's because it is so very true. And you have to, again, back to the brick and mortar business analogy. If you open a brand new business and you're like on day one and you're all hyped up and you walk in there and only a few people show up because they don't know about it yet, you might feel a little bit defeated or whatever, but that's part of growing a new business. And if you don't come back into your business the next day because you were disappointed about your day one because it didn't go just exactly as you planned, then you don't come in on day two. Guess what? instead of gaining that momentum and ground, where maybe a few more people came in on that second day and a few more on the third day and a few more on the fourth, then obviously you're not going to grow as fast as somebody who shows up every day and says, I realize that this is going to take time to grow, and they do the things to make that happen. So consistency, if you're making posts only every few weeks about the products that you're using, guess what? That not as near as many people are going to see that information in those posts as if you're coming in and doing it on a daily basis, right? So know that more you share about it, the more excited that you are, the more people are going to stick around and say, hey, they actually might be doing something here that I'm paying attention to. The more I hear it over and over again, and then they may jump on board after that. So and then you guys, people are watching you, if you know it or not. There's people who joined me in the business 2 years later than when they first, I had no idea that they were even watching. Or I may see somebody out that says, hey, they may not be liking and commenting on my post, but hey, I need to message you about that coffee you're using. I've been wanting to try it. I just hadn't said anything to you yet. So sometimes even people are watching when you don't know it. And then to close it out here, you guys, I do have just some quick little like last little blurbs of tips here. One is get out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid of failure. You're going to have to get uncomfortable to really do as well as you can. Your comfort zone doesn't give you growth, and it's not going to get you to where you're wanting to go. Otherwise you would already be there. So obviously you're wanting something more, and then to get something more, you're going to have to become something more. And the challenge in that is to get uncomfortable, comfortable being uncomfortable. Do personal development, you guys. That is so super important. A lot of emphasis is not given on that or realized, but podcasts, books, YouTubes, there's tons of different things that you can help grow and develop yourself personally. Don't compare your day one to somebody's day 600, right? So if you're coming on and going, look at her, like she's got, her posts look amazing, her photos look amazing, she has all these people commenting and asking for information, you see all her success. Well, guess what? That's not where everybody doesn't start on their day one at the same place that somebody in their day 600 is. They've grown, they've learned, they've implemented things, and that's how they got to the success that they have at that day 600. So keep that in mind. No means next, right? Just because they said no, that doesn't mean forever. They can come back to you at a later time. It's happened to me a million times. It may not be the right timing for them, or maybe they're just not ready, which is another reason those testimonial groups are so amazing, so they can continue watching there as well. And another thing, just a little thing, don't post your link out on your social media. You don't want to say, hey, I love this coffee, it's amazing, let me go click on this, you go click on this link here if you want to order it. Well, that's going to not give you the conversation piece that you want with people. That's going to not give you the connection and to build that relationship where you can answer their questions. They won't know about that customer testimonial group where they can get all that valuable information and things like that. So keep that to where you're sharing that in a personal conversation. And then lastly, show up for yourself, show up for your family. Whatever your goals here, they are possible with the work, excuse me, time and effort, consistency, and staying plugged in. So I want to thank you guys again for hopping on this morning. I hope you all were able to get a little bit of nuggets, gain some value from that to implement into your business. And that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you again so much for hopping on, and welcome to the Happy Co family.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Really valuable.
Well, good. I'm glad you got some value. Thank you guys for hopping on. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Misty.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You
You're
too.
welcome.
God bless.
Thank you, Misty.
You are welcome. I'm going to go ahead and end it here, Chris.